Hey, y'all. It's Michelle from Monkey's Creations. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We are going to make a rose today. I don't make many roses because I really just, I don't know. I don't enjoy making them, but I do make them at least once or twice a year for y'all. So that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be a Valentine rose. So it has the reds, pinks, and just a little bit of white, not much. But first, I did list, and I know I told y'all I forgot about the snowflake Santas, and I forgot about them again. So, but snowflakes are just for Christmas, they're winter. So they can last all the way through March, even into April, depending on where you live. So the black and gold snowflake are available, the white and blue, the red and gold. And then this one I made as like a de-stash kit to get rid of some of this mesh that I have. So it comes with a small board. It comes with your zip ties. There's two. One comes with the breeze mesh with this Senna, and the other one comes with the deluxe full mesh with that Senna. So there's two versions of this one, but they are available on my website, monkeyscreations.com. So that's where you can grab the Sennas. Good morning, everybody. And then if you're looking for last minute stocking stuffers, I do have pen sets available. I have the Christmas and the everyday mystery sets available on my website. Those are $20 for 4 pens with free shipping. So y'all go check those out on my website. So let's get started. Who's made a rose? Anybody made a rose? We are using the large Unique in the Creek board, and we are using white, pink, and red. Now, these are all different meshes. I love to mix and match my meshes when I do these roses. So we have a laser full, we have a regular deco mesh, and then we have a white regular deco mesh. Okay. So the white, I'm just kind of adding as like a variegated rose. So you're not going to see too much of the white. There's actually only 4 petals of white. But we need 37 sets of petals. So when I'm making my roses, I use at least 2 petals in each of the zip ties. Laser full. Lynn, go to bed. I'm glad you caught me live. You got your cups. Yay. So at least 2 pieces. So you're going to go through, you're going to need at least 2 rolls of mesh. But y'all, the deco mesh is relatively inexpensive. So you may have like $10 worth of deco mesh in this rose. So let me bring everybody down and let's get started. Good morning, everybody. So 37 sets of petals. Now you can see the arrows on my board. I've written them on there. So oh, the bookmarks, you got yours? Yay. So when we're doing the rose, I put my petals in a couple different ways. So you will see on row 2, 3, and 4, all my petals are going to go towards the middle of the board. On row 5, my petals will go to the outside of the board. Okay. So let's make the petals. All of my petals are cut at 10 inches. I did actually wood burn mine, but you do not need to. I just find it easier to wood burn them. So 10 inches, curl side up, diamond shape. I want my red to be the bottom color. So I'm making sure my red is on the bottom. So we're going to take that top tip to the bottom, just like that. So if you were only making, did you ever make the big bow out of the pillow? I sure did. The video should be posted everywhere. If you were only making one color, then you would just go ahead and band your tip at this point. But I'm doing two. So now I'm going to put my pink. I'm just lining up my tips. And I'm going to bring that top down as well. So you can see all my tips are right here at the bottom. Now I'm going to take this tip and I'm going to line it up. And we're going to do a 2-inch tail. Okay. So I'm just going 1, 2. There's my tail. And then I'm just going to band it. Hey, hey. If y'all float my boat, I'd appreciate it. Okay. So there's our rose petal. Easy peasy. Now, you can see I've loaded every regular set of holes except on row 5 because row 5 is going to be easier to do as we put in our petals. So our first round, we are only going to put in our petals in every other. And I'm going to explain why, okay? So tip is going to the middle of the board. Did you add extra holes in the center row? I did not. Okay. And I wore this shirt on purpose. It says, trust the process. So with roses, you definitely have to trust the process. Okay. Skipping. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to do the outside first, and then I'm going to go to the inside, and it's going to be easier. So just, this is the large board. Yes. You can always tell I'm using the large board if you see the single holes on the outside row. So this is considered row 1. So if you see the single holes, then that it will always be the large board. Okay. Now I had to break out the laundry basket, y'all. The laundry basket for these, because these are big petals. So if you are going to watch the replay on this and make it with me, it's going to be very easy because you can stop and pause and start again. Pause, continue. So if there's ever anything you don't get or you need to see it again, just pause the video and rewatch it, or do your petal and then pause it and go on to the next step. Got one more. Okay, so that is step number 1. If you have any questions, let me know. We're going to go ahead and take off the zip ties. Okay. Now, here's where I have to stop and think because I don't make these a lot and I want to make sure that I am telling you right. So, and here's where it can get tricky. So we are taking these 2 ends and we're going to put them in the zip ties that are already there. Okay. So I'm just taking those 2 ends. The end of that one. Hold on, I got to think. I got to think. Okay, so taking that one. And this one. So we skipped one, going to the next. So both of these are going in that zip tie. Okay. Maybe I should have watched my own video. Huh? Oh, maybe that's what I'm doing. I need to put another zip tie. See, I don't make these enough. So we're going to go and put another zip tie right on top of the zip ties that we already put in. It wasn't making sense when I did it. So putting zip ties right on top of you. Don't hold your breath. I don't make them enough to remember always. All right. So we're going to close these zip ties up. Am I doing it right now? Okay. There we go. Okay. So skip, go in. See, even sometimes I need to be reminded. We'll keep you going. Maybe I should have practiced one. Am I doing it right now? There's a better one on my YouTube channel. It takes a village, yes. It's a one and done. Yeah, I don't make very many roses. I mean, I try to make 1 or 2 a year for y'all, and that is it. Okay. So now we're just going to put in the others. Angie, help. Okay, so I'm just kind of going on top. Still bringing both of those petal tips to that zip tie. Hello, hello. All right. Last two. From here on out, it's easy, y'all. Need to do a center, but not a fan, but they are pretty. Yes. I don't know. They're just, the roses are what got me started using the boards, but I just don't like making them, as you can see. All right. Back on track. Let's take these off. You want to make one? Well, go watch one of my better videos. But no, I got it now. I got it. Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to do the fill in. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. So I'm going to start and I'm going to put in, we're going to start putting in some of the white. So this is just 3 of the same petals, but I'm trying to get that variegated look. It's always great watching your demos. Thanks. Okay, so same thing, just that this one has 3 petals. So we're still on row 2 and we're filling in because I only did every other. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, and I do. That's how if I'm going to make a rose, I'm going to make me a rose. So I always at least double petal mine. And you can see my tail is still going to the inside of the board. Do your other tutorials show the double petal? All of my rose tutorials, except maybe the very first one, like 6 years ago, will all be a double petal. I just think it makes it fuller. I just like the look better. Now, of course, you're going to use more materials, but sometimes it's worth it. So you're going to need 37 sets of petals. I do my inside a little bit different. And once I get the outside of row 2 done, I do go to the middle and then work myself out. Once you do a couple, you will figure out what works best for you, whether you're working completely outside in or inside out or both. Just find what works for you. Not all of them are going to get the 3 petals. Hello, hello. Live. Been watching your tutorials for a while now. I love your creations. I have been trying all the different patterns. Awesome. Did you ever make one with a 21-inch mesh? I did, Carol. Now the 21-inch mesh, I forgot about that one. It may be the only other one that I only did a single petal because you're using 21-inch mesh. You really will still get a full rose with only using the 21-inch one petal. Now you can see the mesh is starting to stick to itself. And this is going to be one of those where you want your mesh to stick to each other, okay? Because this row, we are not zip tying to the board. So when your mesh sticks to each other down in, it will hold that mesh in place without adding more zip ties, okay? Which is another reason I do wood burn the mesh when I'm making my petals, with the rose petals. Because you can get a lot more fraying when you're pushing those petals down in. Okay, so we have row 1 completely done. Everything else from this point on is going to be super easy. Okay. And I did forget to, hold on, let me go to the other side of the table and grab my big clips. I'm rearranging my table and cleaning it and all the things. So if you have some big clips, I just get these from Dollar Tree. It's going to make the center of the rose so much easier. Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to the center. So I'm going to make the very inside part of that rose. So for that piece, I am just using the red and the white. So we're going to need a band. And what I do is I kind of line them up. I take this petal and all I do is roll it to the other tip. Okay. Now you will see that I will roll it tight. And then I'm kind of pulling that outside part down because I only wanted one white. This is I just sometimes will wing it, put different things in. Now this part I'm going to zip tie actually, just to make sure that that tail, I'm making a variegated Valentine rose. So there will be pieces of white in my rose. Okay. So there is the very inside of my rosebud. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I am going to clip off this end. I guess I didn't need that piece. Okay, so that's what I have. Now we're going to get my petal back, my board back, and we're going to put one zip tie right in that middle, close it up, and then I'm going to slide this piece in that middle. Okay, now you will see that it lays down. Okay, but what's going to happen is once I get these next petals on, they will hold the center of my rose completely up. Okay. Everybody still with me? So we are going to load those next 4 petals. I'm only using the regular holes on this wreath. That's all I'm doing. There are no shared holes at all. Regular petal, regular sets of holes. Okay, now we're going to close these up. And now we're going to start to build on that center bud. So I am going to put, do I want to put, yes, I am going to put one of the 3. So this one is here. I think I'm just eyeballing them, y'all. And I think I'm going to put this one here. So this is where we're going to start. Now, remember I said most of the tips go to the inside of the board. On row 5, my tips will go to the outside of the board. So instead of going in like this, they are going to go out like this. Okay. I'm going to put this in and then I'll hold it up. It's going to start to get hard to see in here. Okay, so see how it went to the outside? So now we're going to take this bud and we're going to start wrapping this mesh around that bud. And this is where those big clips are going to come in handy. Now, if you're using more than one petal, just be gentle, y'all. This is where patience is going to be key. Now, I generally will wrap mine a little bit tighter, and you will find out why at the end. Okay, so now I'm going to take my big clips, and we're going to start clipping them to hold them in place. Oh, and I just broke that one, so I'm down to 1 clip. I need to make a trip to Dollar Tree. So now we're just going to go in order. We're going to go to that next one. So every one is going to be starting to wrap around that center. Roses are not the easiest to teach, but once you get it down and you do more than I do, they'll be easy. So I'm just following my circle. I'm doing that clip. Wrap it around. And you will see my bud is now standing straight up because that mesh is holding and pulling it up. See that? I need an overhead camera. That would make teaching the rows a little bit easier, huh, y'all? Okay, so undo that. Wrapping it around and clipping it. So now we have row 4 completely done. So all we need to do is 3, 4. So 2 is done and 5 is done. No, it's not. I got one more, man. I got one more, man. Trust me, it is not complicated. I promise you. It's just a little time consuming. One more, and then we're done with this row. And then the rest is easy peasy. Okay, take that, take these 2. And it is a little more complicated when you're using 2 pieces of mesh, and in some cases 3, versus just 1 piece. Right? Angie did it and hers was gorgeous. Okay, so I'm still going to clip that inside. So now the rest is going to be easy. So I've got my white. Let's start with a white right here. So this will be my last piece of white. Maybe I'll save it for that next row. Let's do all of these in just the red and pink. So now my petal is going to go back to the inside of the board. So you can do these and wrap each time, just like we did, or you can wrap it all at the very end. But pretty soon it will start to get too big that my one clip will not be able to handle it. Since I'm only down to 1 clip now. but it's easier to teach wrap one at a time versus if I was just doing this for an order, I would do the whole roll and then wrap one at a time. So it really just depends on how you want to do it. Let me see if my small clips will help me down here. And they will. Yeah, you can do the rubber band trick, but I've never done it, I don't believe. You can take a rubber band, like she's saying, and wrap it around kind of as you go. Good morning, good morning. See, I'm quiet, so you can tell I'm thinking. I'm never quiet unless I have to think, and I always have to think when I make a rose. I'm saving that last white for the next row. Thanks. Just moving my clips, and you can see that I'm taking all the ends and pushing them down into the mesh. Now these clips aren't on here long enough to make that mesh flat or anything like that, so don't worry about messing up your mesh. Okay, so you can see I'm having to use more clips because my bud is getting bigger and bigger. All right, looks like we only have 2 more left on this one. Everybody still with me? Are you totally confused? Maybe, you know what I should do? Maybe I should do one. Should I, y'all let me know. Should I do one row by row? Like on 4 or 5 different boards? So you can see how it actually builds, because I know there's a lot you can't see down in here. Should I do that? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that as a video. What do y'all think? And then you would really understand or get how they go together. All right, one more. Very good idea. Y'all like that idea? I think then it would actually click with some of y'all that it's not that hard. I think you should make us all one. Girl, you have lost your daggone mind. I will do that for y'all. Not that I want to make another rose, but I think it would really help y'all. Lord, what have I gotten myself into? Lordy bee. Okay, so if you just go on the back, so because sometimes it is hard to see, is I'll just flick my zip ties and see, like when I flick this one, it comes up, because I haven't done this row at all. But then you'll know if you missed one, if you're having a hard time seeing down in there. All right, we're on the last row. I've got my white here, here. Let's do a white over here. Like I said, there's really no rhyme or reason where I'm putting my white. And then I will show you how to make that last petal. Now this one, I'm just making sure that I get my ends down. That's all I'm doing. My ends are down. It is too big for me to continue to wrap. So ends are down. If anybody would like this rose, it is $150 and that will include shipping. Nope, my nubs are going in. They only face out on row 5. That is how I do it anyway. Everybody has their own way to do it, but my nubs only go out on row 5. Okay, so I'm just taking them and I'm just gently wrapping them around. Now others may make them go out, but I do not. If you want your rose to stand up more, then you will go out. If you want it to lay down more, then you go in. Does that make sense? So going in versus going out, it will stand up a little bit more. Who is making me sweat, y'all? Okay, so just taking those ends and putting them to the bottom of the board as we tuck them around. This one really is just about patience, y'all. That's all this one really is. Patience, patience, patience. And this is why I would burn my rose petals. Oh my gosh. There's only 2 left, y'all. Right? The patience word, right? Especially when you're using like 2 petals like I am. You just have to be a little more patient. Oh no, we still have 2 more because I have to make 1 more petal to show y'all how I made them. You don't have patience. My patience has gotten better as I've gotten older. My daughter gets on me all the time when Monk does something. She's like, you would have never let me get away with it. Well, number 1, you were my child. He's my grandchild. And number 2, patience can sometimes come with age. Do you walk away, take a shot of something before coming back? My mom did make a wreath with me probably 3 or 4 years ago. We actually did it live. I believe it was Mother's Day. We did a live wreath together. All right, I'm going to show you one last time. So my petals are wood burned at 10 inches. You need 37 sets of petals. So if you're only using 1 petal, you need 37. If you're using 2 petals, you take 37 times 2. Okay. So curl side up, diamond shape. We're going to take that top to the bottom. Okay. Just like that. We're going to take the pink, and I literally just put that tip right with the other tips. Definitely, Teresa. And then we're going to take this tip and bring it down. Oh, sorry, TikTok, trying to verify because I went past my time. Okay. And then we're going to take this tip, line it up, and we're doing a 2-inch tail. And then we're just going to band it. Okay, so there is your rose petal. There's math and daggone everything, man. All right, last one going in. Okay, taking those tips down to the bottom of the board. Okay. Now, we are going to start. I'm going to unclip our Senna clips. While I'm out today, I will be stopping by Dollar Tree to get me some more big clips. Okay, so you can see I'm taking these and I'm just tucking them down into that mesh. And once I do that, that mesh is going to start sticking to itself. Okay, so I'm just taking it, sticking it right to the bottom of that board in that mesh. So any piece that's sticking up is just getting tucked in. Some people do use a little dab of glue. I do not, unless I absolutely have to. If I just have a petal that's really just wanting to stick out, then I do not. But that doesn't mean you can't. Okay, so now I've got all of my pieces tucked in. And what I do, because I wrap this tight, a lot of times, most of the time, it's so that I can see the rest of the board. But to make it bigger and fluffier, what I do is I literally just take my hands at this point, put it on my bud and around, and I just start loosening it up very gently. But you'll see how you'll start to see more of those colors on the inside. Still making sure that my petals don't start popping out. But I'm just kind of relaxing it a little bit. Just going around, making sure I don't have any pieces popping out like I do here. And we just fix it, y'all. Just tuck it back in. Because if I have a piece of foil or something sticking out, just trim it up, especially if it's a long piece. So there you go. Now I could have added more white if you want more of the white in it. But I didn't want too much. I just wanted, you know, a little hint of another color. And then you can always add an extra piece in the center of your bud if you would like. If you can see the board through that center. I've seen some roses where they don't quite get it wrapped right. And you will see the center. You'll see the board right in the center. On this one, you cannot. But that would be totally up to you. So you can make these in any color combination. I think I did one not this past Halloween before, in like the blacks and oranges, purples and greens. So you can mix and match your colors, mix and match your different meshes. So there's really like 3 different types of mesh in here. But it just adds a little more character. Shows the different dimensions. Absolutely. Would you ever use a dab of hot glue? If I had a piece that just really would not stay in and I was cussing, yeah, glue's an easy fix. So yes, I would. On my roses, unless it's a traditional red rose, yellow rose, something like that, I do not add leaves. So for this one, for my Halloween, those kinds of roses, I do not add leaves. It doesn't mean you can't. It just means I don't. Unless it's a traditional all red, all yellow, all white rose or something like that. Okay. Thanks, y'all. TikTok wants to see the back. There you go. Completely flat back. Nothing to scratch your customer's door. All right, so I will work on this time of year. I do tend to slow down, y'all. Like you're not going to see any kits come out or anything like that until after Christmas. Even though all my kits are here, they will not come out until after Christmas, except this D-stash kit, because that wasn't really a kit. That was just a D-stash. But I do have a little bit more time that I will work on a video. It's about 5 inches in depth, 5 inches. So I'll work on that video step by step, row by row. I'll literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boards, but I'll do that for y'all. All right. Okay, I'm out of here. Sorry that live was longer than I had intended it to be. But hopefully y'all stuck with me and go make your own roses. All right. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, y'all.